Hello, my name is Erica Courtney, and I am from Courtney Consulting Solutions, where we help good companies grow through government sales from an insider's perspective. I would like to discuss the right and wrong ways to approach this marketplace. First, let's examine some of the players. There is an end user. An end user is mission driven. They have a sense of urgency and they want a product or a service that is of quality. Second is a contracting officer, and they are driven by regulation. And we all know that in the government, there sure is a lot of regulation. She posts solicitations out there in hopes that people will bid. Once she receives probably at least about 3 bids, she examines them for competency, compliance, for best value, and she's essentially pre screening them, making sure that they meet all of these federal rules and regulations, and she's done her job. Now, they are the buyers and you are the seller. How do you get to them? Let's imagine in between you and them is a giant wall. This wall, let's just call this wall the government. This wall can be climbed over, but it has to be done correctly. So let's examine 2 companies, a company A and a company B. Company A, they have thought about entering this marketplace for quite some time, and they have read some books, they've gone to some local PTACs, they've gone to their local SBA office, they've gone to business meetings, and they have an idea that there are a series of steps that need to be accomplished before they can get on top of this wall. So what they do is they register themselves in systems called Central Contracting Registration, ORCA, VETS1, the SBA site, and a few more. They also do a past performance evaluation on their company to demonstrate that they are a company that is credible to do business with the government. Now, from there, what they do is they decide, you know what, we need to sit down and figure out our short and our long term goals. We need to understand the market space. What is our marketing plan? And how are we going to be effective in this space? So once they do that, they determine that they should become a pre approved, pre screened vendor in order to save the contracting officer time in evaluating offers, and they would become a mandatory source of supply over open market solicitors. So they go through this process over about 9 months of filling out paperwork, submitting it, revising it, negotiating with the government back and forth, and they finally get an award, which means they have a fixed price contract in place to do business with the government. So they have slowly taken the steps to get towards the top of this wall. Whereas Company B is generally like most companies. They expect quick, fast sales, and they start divvying into different government systems, say FedBiz Ops, where there is a posting of many jobs out there that the government's looking for vendors to comply with. So they find some that looks like a great match for their company, and they spend about 3 months putting together a request for proposal, and they submit it. And they're slowly climbing up this wall with a rope, not steps, just climbing up, and they're waiting for an answer. So they go through this process again, and they fill out another RFP, still waiting for an answer, and they may even go for a third RFP. And after about 9 months, they may get told, nope, you're not going to get this work, and they thought that they were a shoo-in. So they fall down this rope, and now they're back where they started. But they still have 2 more out there. They're climbing, they fall, they get told no. They're climbing, they fall, they get told no. And after about a year, they're so frustrated, and they have just made it up in their mind that the government is the hardest place ever to do business with. Well, not necessarily true if you take the right steps. So now we go back to Company A. They now are a pre-approved vendor. They have been pre-screened for compliance competencies. Their prices are deemed fair and reasonable, and they're sitting atop this wall. And they've planned. They have a marketing plan and they have a strategic plan. So they don their parachute and they glide slowly down to their target. And they're going to know how to pitch. They're going to be looked at like a vendor who understands how to play the game, and they're going to get the sale. When I'm a contracting officer, if I'm looking at 3 bids and I look at that company who's pre-approved and the 2 others that aren't, who do you think she's going to bid? She's going to award the job to somebody who understands how to play the game. Now, what that means is she can award a contract generally on average in about 14 days versus 248 days for an open market solicitor. It reduces this vendor's competition, and they are a mandatory source of supply. So knowing what to do with this competitive advantage is just as important as having this competitive advantage. So who do you want to be? And first of all, Do you want to climb the wall or do you want to take the stairs? And I always ask people, which path do you want to take? It's not impossible. You just need to do it the right way. There's no jumping in midpoint. You're going to fail if you jump in midpoint and expect to get good results. You got to do things right from the start. And if you do so, we see our clients all the time have a steady, long term revenue source that they never had before. So, good luck to you. It's not impossible. Just take the steps that you need to get over that wall and don that parachute. Thanks so much.